I can't speak for everybody else, but I'm from Santana Blocc Crip, so it's gonna do what it do.
Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'm going to detail the story of Primo Pete from Santana Blocc, Compton, Crip. Primo Pete was born Juan Pedro Bravo on November 5th, 1968. His family would originally come from Mexico. They would later move to California and first settle in places like Los Angeles and Carson. Being immigrants, Primo Pete family was seeking the American dream. In 1979, Primo Pete family was settled on Rose Avenue in Compton, an area known for a Crip gang called the Santana Blocc Compton Crips. The Santana Blocc Compton Crips are one of the most known Crip gangs in Compton. Being on the east side of Compton, they would be surrounded by rival Paru gangs. The Santana Bloccs are started off as two separate gangs, being Midtown and the Oak Park Boys. By the late 1970s, they would come together and they would be Santana Bloccs. And the Santana Bloccs will become one of the most hated gangs in Compton. They would take on anybody in their way, from Parus, other Crip gangs, and even some Serrano gangs. So when Primo Pete moved to Santana Blocc's turf, he was around 11 years old, and the area was already a high crime and gang-filled area. So just stepping outside, he'll be stepping into a war zone. At a young age, he started hanging out with the gang members in the area, becoming fast friends with reputable members in his neighborhood. Primo Pete will become close to one of the Santana Blocc's leaders, being Turtle. Turtle is regarded as being one of the most influential members of the Santana Bloccs, and with Turtle being 10 years older than Pete, he looked out for him like a little brother, and taught him how to handle himself in the streets, and geared him up for what he would face in the streets. Turtle was a well-known player in the game in Compton, known for being a big-time hustler with a lot of charisma and leadership skills, which his whole gang had love and respect for him. He was also known for using his gun, and with Pete being around Turtle, he would pick up a lot. Turtle trusted Pete, so Pete would do a lot for Turtle as a trusted friend. Pete would hold guns, drugs, and money for Turtle. And with Pete's high involvement in the gang lifestyle, his parents didn't even know their son was doing most of his illegal activities out their house. Pete, along with the rest of the young Santana Blocc members, will appear in a film called Gang City, which the Santana Bloccs will be followed around, and Turtle will be the star of the film. Pete will make a small appearance with the rest of the gang, showing his weapon.
And it was something new to me. We used to fight all the time. The next minute, I'm running from gunshots. So the only thing I said to myself, say, man, are we gonna start doing what they doing? Same thing they do to us, we do to them. That wasn't me, but you had to, either do or die, or stay in the house. Fight or stay in the house. So I wasn't gonna stay in the house for nobody.
How many guys are in the joint right now?
About 20, they're close to 20.
But being full-fledged in the streets would lead to Pete having to go to youth authority and spend some years there. Shortly after Pete was released from youth authority, he would lose his close friend, Turtle, who was killed in 1989. Still to this day, it was still unknown circumstances surrounding his death. This deeply affected Pete and the Santana Bloccs as a whole. Pete would continue on with what Turtle taught him in the streets, but unfortunately, 2 years later in 1991, Pete would meet his demise. He would be chilling in front of his parents' home in the Santana Blocc's turf. He would be listening to music when a car would pull up and open fire on him, taking his life. Pete was the young age of 22. In just a few years, the teacher and the mentor, Turtle and Primo Pete, both will lose their lives, being both big losses for the Santana Bloccs. Primo Pete's legacy is still big in his area, and he is remembered as a legend from Santana Blocc. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.